that we're going to look at is fill in the blanks. Let's look at it. We know how to approach this question. Context clues, collocations, look for words before and after the blank. Can we quickly do this? As in, don't just tell me what the error is. Tell me what did you identify in the context. What did you identify in the context that helped you figure out this is the answer option for this context? The first one we have is an e-wallet system to dash the liquidity problem being dashed by exporters. I think this is a error here, is likely to be operational from April 1, 2018. So most of you have come back and given me which answer to this. Let's go back. A. Okay, some of you are saying C. Most of you have come back and said A. My clue word is liquidity problem. And I also have the infinitive form, to plus verb. Right? In terms of grammar, I can see what will go correctly. To deem, to conclude, to align also will go in terms of grammatical construction, in terms of an infinitive form. But the context meaning is an e-wallet system to do something about that liquidity problem being, that's another clue word for you. Who is dealing with it? Who is the person who is getting affected because of that? The exporters, right? So which means I need a word where these guys are the victims. So it definitely cannot be a positive word, right? Propelled. You can immediately eliminate. Hedged, assailed, imperiled. Again, we are talking about a liquidity problem. So in terms of logic, these words are again inappropriate. And the best thing in terms of collocation is people are trying to address a particular problem, right? So address a problem is a collocation. And the problem being faced by someone again is a collocation. So even if you don't know the meaning of these words in terms of hedged or imperiled or assailed, but let's quickly look at it, right? Since we are learning here, what is the meaning of propelled? Means we know to propel, to move forward, right? So being propelled by exporters, inappropriate. We already eliminated option B. What about option C, hedged? Hedged means what? Anybody? Any idea? What is the meaning of hedged? Again, I mean, if I look at a hedge, I can only think of what do I say, fence kind of a thing. You know, like a house surrounded with a hedge, almost like a fence. Yeah, that's not the only meaning. So in terms of, in this context, if I have to apply hedged, it will be something that is surrounding or blocking my movement, is limiting my action, right? So something that is limiting. So in the context, being limited by exporters, incorrect. So I can't use hedged by. And even to conclude the liquidity problem seems illogical, right? What about assailed? Somebody asked, what is the meaning of assailed? What is the meaning of assailed? Anybody? To assail means, and again, even if you look at option D, the first blank, it says align. When do I align something? To align something means to put it in a particular sequence, a particular order, right? Why would the e-wallet system try to align the liquidity problem? It just doesn't make sense. Illogical, blank one itself. And assail means, I don't know if anybody is giving any, okay, violent attack. Yeah, somebody assailed so and so, yes, violent attack, I agree. But the same word has different meanings in different contexts, right? I can assail someone, meaning criticize them. Again, an inappropriate word in the context, right? The liquidity problem being criticized by exporters just doesn't make sense. Out. D. And then I have an e-wallet system to hike the liquidity problem being dash. Why would you want to hike? Hike means to boost up. Illogical option. E. First blank. I will eliminate, right? So even if I don't know the meanings, hike is not a difficult word again, right? So just looking at the first blank, I can automatically eliminate option D and E, align and hike. Inappropriate words. We don't want to align the problem somewhere. We don't want to hike the problem. And they're saying it's going to be operational from April 1, 2018. Why would somebody want to hike a problem and make it operational? Right? Doesn't make sense. Right? So the obvious answer is address and face. Now this is not a very difficult question at all. I just went ahead to explain how important it is for you to know the meaning of other options so you don't pick the wrong answer option, right? Align, hike, conclude, these are very simple words. Assuming you know the meaning of these words, you will not choose these words and choose the incorrect answer for this question. Let's look at the next one. The court dash revenue authorities and PCB officials to dash teams and visit pharma units. Imperiled, somebody is asking what is the meaning of imperiled as well. I would say to put someone in danger, right? Have you heard the word peril? Danger, harm, right? So in the context here, the liquidity problem being imperiled by export is illogical. Yeah. So most of you have come back and said part D for the next one. Let's look at why that is the answer. The court dash revenue authorities and PCB officials to do something to the teams and visit pharma units. Okay. So in terms of collocations, okay, look at the options for, I'm just looking at the word after the blank, okay. I'm not looking at blank 1, I'm looking at blank 2 because I'm looking at teams, okay, and I'm looking at all the words. Arrange teams, display teams, carve teams, form teams, make teams. The most common collocation is you form a team, right? That's the first one. Yes, absolutely, right? You can arrange something for a team to do something, right? Arrange teams is not the right collocation. You form a team, right? Even more so than make. Not carve. You don't carve a team. You don't have to, chisel the team members, right? Doesn't make sense. And you don't display a team. You display something maybe for a team to look at it. Yeah. So that's the most obvious collocation. But otherwise also, let's look at the first blank. It says the court dash revenue authorities to do something, right? So I have the subject are my revenue authorities and PCB officials. So the court is giving some sort of an instruction or telling them to form teams and visit pharma units. So there's some sort of an action plan that has been set out to these officials and authorities. So in that context, if I have to choose between announced, commanded, told, directed and ruled, right, what I will automatically eliminate is ruled out and announced. Why? Because they want them to take an action, right? So announced would not be a more effective word. And these guys are officials and authorities, right? There's no need for the court to command them. It's not like they're not going to do it, right? It's more like a action plan that is recommended or suggested or given for them to take action on. So directed would be a more appropriate. I can even say told, but since we're looking at a formal context, directed would be more appropriate. So if you are in doubt, just look for the collocation which is form teams, and otherwise also you should be in a position to eliminate. So there are more than one option for blank one, but then I need to look at the context. I need to look at the context meaning. Is it a formal thing or is it an informal thing? Right? If it is an informal thing, I can even say told. So and so told so and so to take some action. Possible. Right? But in our context, option D would be the most effective fit.